Now I'd like to introduce you to a very special person, a very wonderful person, a wonderful young lady who would like to share part of her own personal story. Please welcome to the podium, Suzanna.
Thank you. My name is Suzanna Newell. I live in St. Paul with my husband and 2 teenage kids. I was very physically active, working in corporate America until my second COVID vaccine injury after my second Pfizer shot on April 13th. I want to thank you for the opportunity to share my story. As has been mentioned by the previous speakers, we're being silenced, and we're not able to share our story with people, and when they do hear it, many think it's a lie. I do wish this was a lie. Unfortunately, this is my new life, and the new life of my family. We're getting tired. It's been 8 months. I really want you to share my story for the benefit of all those who are sadly no longer with us or are suffering in silence like me. It's a lonely place to be. Most of my vaccine injuries are not visible. Sorry. I still have a rash on my forehead, and that appeared less than 48 hours after my second Pfizer shot. Sorry. Also, my right pupil is not dilating properly. But these are the only 2 symptoms that you can see. And they don't bother me as much as the debilitating extreme fatigue, dizziness, brain fog, erratic blood pressure and heart rates, loud ringing in my ears, and burning sensation in my legs, feet, hands, and arms. The vein on my right thigh inflames so much that I'm unable to walk long distances without support. For those of you who haven't heard already, I was a triathlete. I do the YWCA triathlon every summer in Minneapolis, and my husband and I do the bike ride from Duluth to Minneapolis. That's a 150-mile bike ride. And now, since April, I can't even walk down to the end of the street without support. This is not a pandemic of the unvaccinated. This is a pandemic of fear. People are forming and dividing based on fear. It's a fear of dying, becoming severely ill, or spreading COVID to loved ones. Anger exists at those who aren't getting vaccines or following the recommendation of the CDC, and I am an uncomfortable but hidden truth that the vaccines are injuring and killing people. People are afraid of losing their jobs because of not getting vaccinated, afraid of losing their freedoms. I believe that it is the case with most of you here today. For I'm a validating truth that this vaccine isn't safe for all people, and we know vaccines aren't safe for all people. But as Wayne said previously, this vaccine, the safety of this vaccine is much worse than what we've seen with previous vaccines, and all vaccines need to be safer. The root of anger and division stems from fear. The people who think differently are living their own truths with the same intentions of getting out of this pandemic. But we're all pointing fingers at each other. From my viewpoint, as a person who willingly took the shot but became severely injured, I can see both sides. We are all in pain. We are all afraid. I would love for us to move away from this fear that is creating hatred towards a loving, caring, and empathetic world. We need to start having empathy for each other. Many people are getting vaccines and don't have side effects. That's great. I wouldn't wish this experience on anyone, but we need people to understand that the vaccine is not without casualties. And when people try to brush off our injuries or the loss of as a loved one as not being a big deal or being rare, it's painful and it's lonely, and I feel like it's cruel. We're real and we matter. I've experienced so much love and kindness from so many of you who've reached out in support of my healing, brought over lasagna to my house. This is what we need more of. This is what we need more of, and we need more humanity. This is how we get out of the pandemic, through kindness. We truly need to make kindness and empathy contagious. We need to unite in the middle for humanity. I'm wearing purple again as it's an intersection between red and blue politics. Purple for humanity. That is the way out of this pandemic of fear, pain, and loss. Let's stop judging people by whether they're vaccinated or unvaccinated, but rather how they treat other human beings. Many people are not getting these vaccines for lots of valid reasons, including concerns about their safety, informed consent, potential long-term health impacts, pre-existing health conditions, religious reasons, and a lack of support if you are injured or die. We need to respect and allow for choice. Where there is a risk, there should be a choice. We need to start pulling together at the intersection of humanity. To quote a sign hanging on a dear friend's house, turn off the news and love your neighbor. Love them and give them empathy. As they are battling their own fears and losses, love them, no matter if they are on the opposite side of the political fence. Love them if they are wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. Love them if they are vaccinated or unvaccinated. Love them if they attack you with unkind words on social media, as their fear, pain, and loss runs so deep that they don't know what else to do. The opposite of love is not hate, it's fear. And love, kindness, compassion, and empathy are the antidotes for fear. For those of us who are injured or who have lost loved ones because of the vaccines, we need your help. Please go to realnotrare.com. There are many, many stories of people just like me, and many of our symptoms are all the same. Please take action and then please click on Take Action and then send your representative a letter. There are sample letters listing our requests for help. There's also a link to help you find who your representatives are. I spent most of my life voting by political party, not paying much attention to politics. I'm paying attention now. And we all need to be paying attention now and speaking up. For those of us who did what the government asked us to do and got the shot, they are currently only supported by the Countermeasures Injury Compensation Program. That program has paid out $0 to any COVID vaccine injured person. Historically, it only pays out 8% of the time, and it takes 3 years to receive payment. That doesn't help those who've been injured by or lost a loved one because of the vaccine. We need help now. The injured and the departed did what was asked of them by the government and have been abandoned. Please ask your congresspeople to support bills H.R. 3655 in H.R. 3656 immediately to get the COVID vaccines added to the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. This program is much better than what is in place for all vaccine injuries since 1986. Please also put pressure on your congresspeople to have the FDA immediately disclose all the data and information it relied upon to license Pfizer COVID vaccine. The FDA has asked federal judges to make the public wait until 2096 to see that data. I don't think most of us will be alive at that time in 2096. We need transparency and accountability now to help make sure these vaccines are safe as they can be for all people. Why should Big Pharma and the FDA be protected if the vaccine injured and the families of the departed are not protected? Thank you again for your kindness and support. I do believe in the end that love will win out over hate, the hate that has been created by fear. And it starts with all of us honoring the lives of those who've been lost and those who are injured, pulling together in support of one another. Let's make kindness contagious. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanna. What was the name of that website again? realnotrare.com. Worth looking up. Thank you very much.